Hello and welcome to the Best Today podcast. I am your host, Shantae Grant, and today is very short and to the point. This is a reminder for you to send to your friend, your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, your brother, your best friend, your coworker. Yeah, your coworker. And it is a short reminder. I'll tell you how I landed here. I was talking to a friend about perfect attendance in school, and I remember in elementary school, I went to the same elementary school from kindergarten to fifth grade. That was no, that's not. I was going to say that was the only school I went to for the whole time, but that's not true. Kindergarten to fifth grade. And in first grade, I had the chicken pox. And so I missed a few days of school. And they gave an award to this boy, Sherrod Cook. I still remember his name, Sherrod Cook, if you're out there. Hey! He went to my school, I think, for first grade to fifth grade. And when we were graduating, they gave him an award for perfect attendance for all 5 years. But if you add up the time that I was there from kindergarten to fifth grade, technically I was there more days than him, but I did miss a few days in first grade. And I was so upset to not get this award of like the best attendance record of all time or something like that. It was something very random. And I remember being upset and literally trying to make my case. So, I mean, it was very clear I was going to be a lawyer at some point, or I had that skill in me, right? I remember being upset about perfect attendance, and I look at that now and laugh. I laugh so much because I do not care about perfect attendance in school. For my children, right? They actually, this school year, have quote unquote perfect attendance, meaning they have not missed a day of school. That wasn't because we've like made this intent. It's just that they have, knock on wood, been well this whole entire school year, and we haven't been out of town. Now that actually is going to change soon. We actually are going to be going out of town for an entire week. They're missing 5 days of school again. And I don't care about them missing 5 days of school. And I don't have a goal for perfect attendance. But all that to say, I was talking to my friend and I was like, you know what they give you they make these awards for quote unquote perfect attendance. It is to train you when you get on your job, not to take time off. They want to implant in you, the school system is the they I'm referring to, that has been built into the school system, right? This has been built in. This concept of you got to show up every single day. And when you do, you get rewarded with the reward that says you were here every day. Now, let's talk about that reward. A piece of paper that says you were here every day. Okay? That's what we're fighting for. That's what we fighting for. Because I'm gonna tell you, Sherrod Cook don't got that paper in his office right now. If I could find him, Sherrod Cook, who went to Continental Colony Elementary School in Atlanta, Georgia, who graduated with me in fifth grade. I don't remember what year that was. Was it in the 80s? Was it in the 80s? No, I think that'd be early 90s at that point. He don't got that paper, y'all. And I just thought about that. And I was thinking, that is training you as an adult to work. Don't miss a day. And I was talking to my friend and she was saying, yeah, you know what? And it also trains you like, parents want to send their children to school even when they're sick. And that's teaching like push through even when you're sick, go to work, do your, and the message today is because most of you, likely you're listening, you're not in school anymore. And if you are, take this message for what it is. It is talking about not forgetting to use your paid time off. That's my message for you today. Girl, sir, do not forget to take your paid time off if that is a part of your compensation package for your job. Because it is so easy. And I've seen it happen. I have to even remind my own husband of this, where it's like, well, there's just so much work to do that where do I take the time off? And my question is, okay, just like being paid is a part of your job, like getting your paycheck, however you get your paycheck, whether that's once a month, every other week, twice a month, whatever that looks like, that's a benefit that you have said, I will provide my services in exchange for this amount of money every insert, however, right? And you've also said, and the company said, in exchange for your service, we are giving you these amount of days to just take off. And guess what? We still pay you. So by you not taking your time off, it's just like telling them, I'm going to come to work this week, but don't you worry about giving me my paycheck. That is something that we have made an exchange. There has been consideration is what we call it in the legal field, right? Like there has been an exchange in consideration. Like I'm going to give you my services as your employee, as your team member. And you have offered me things, compensation package, which might include health insurance, which might include retirement package, which might include paid time off, which might include whatever other perk or car, which might include whatever it does. By you not utilizing that, you are actually not making all the money you've asked to make because, baby, you've already agreed to take X amount of time off and be paid, but you still working. That's what paid time off means. That means I actually get to take some time away from work, but that doesn't affect my income. That's what makes it the P in the PTO. It's not just time off. It's paid time off. And so many times in talking to adults, they're like, oh, I have so much. Fantastic. And now I want to give you some ideas of how you strategically plan your paid time off, right? You, first of all, think of everything you say you don't have time to do. Boom, there's a PTO day. You don't have time to read a book you've been wanting to read. Take a day off and literally sit on your couch and read. If you have a problem sitting on your couch and reading, go find you a beautiful hotel lobby, some headphones, and read. If it's nice outside, go find you a beautiful place to sit and read. Actually, another hotel that has like an outdoor patio or something like that, right? That is a simple thing to do. And I think a lot of people would say, hold on, what? Gasping, clutching my pearls. Take a day off and read a book. I'm going to tell you, I do it often. Now, yes, I am the person who pays myself. My company is, right? But I take days off and literally sit and read and study, and it is delicious. It is fantastic, right? Your options are endless. And might I suggest you do them on Monday or Friday so that you can extend a weekend? Like taking a Monday off. Do you have enough paid time off to take every Monday off for 5 months straight? Or every Friday and Monday off for 2 weeks back to back, right? You get to decide is the beautiful thing. Right? Now, of course, we have to be excellent at work, and I have a podcast episode coming up about that. So please take every message and weigh it against the big picture. Okay. Don't take one thing and run with it and not hold it up against everything that I'm teaching you. Right? You can't be taking PTO and you ain't doing your job. Okay. Because again, now you haven't met your end of the bargain, right? We have made exchanges, right? But what I'm not going to do is say that this job is so consuming that it doesn't allow me to take the thing the job told me I could take. That's what I'm talking about. And so I'm going to tell you to strategically plan it now. Put in your time way ahead. Look at your calendar. Do you have a lot of things coming up at some point? Do you have, like, for instance, okay, I have within a 3-week span, I'm going to be in 3 different states for 3 different conferences, one of which is my own, right? I'm going to be speaking at a conference in one state I'll be there for 2 days. Then I'm going to another place for a conference for 6 days in another state. And then I'm coming back home to unpack, breathe, and then prepare for my own conference in a different state than the other 2. So I'm going to tell you April 15th, I'm going to tell you where you can find me. You can't. At Best Today, we exist to help women just like you be your best one today at a time. So each week on the podcast, we are going to highlight your stories and your voices. So let's see what's in the inbox today. Today, we have a 5-star review of the Best Today guide that reads, I cherish the Best Today guide. I just completed my first Best Today guide, and I never want to go back to living without it. In it, I have found a place for everything swimming around in my mind. I've never felt more intentional and proactive with my time. I am still a work in progress, of course, but the BTG, which stands for Best Today Guide, has enabled me to live out my priorities more than anything else has. I have tried so many planners and organizers, but not anymore. The BTG is so much more than a planner, but as a bonus, I also use it as my planner. The design is beautiful and clean, and even that makes a difference. That lovely white cover means my focus is on the process and what I'm writing, not on how it looks on the outside. I even love that it's undated. I love writing every day anew. I tend to take my BTG with me when I go out. It's like a touchstone to remind me to spend my time today in a way that I'm committed to, that is meaningful to me in the big picture. I refer to it during the day, and it really does keep me on track. I only missed a few days writing in my BTG these past 14 weeks, and they were not good days, and I definitely felt less intentional and contented. I cannot recommend it enough. I am looking forward to the next 14 weeks with my new BTG and deepening my daily practice with it. Thank you so much, Shantae. Grateful for you and your work and encouragement. Thank you so much for that 5-star review and sharing exactly how the Best Today Guide works for you. So many times consistently, I hear the difference between those who use the Best Today Guide the days you don't and the days you do. And if you have not tried the Best Today Guide, I want to invite you to try the planner that is different than any other planner you have purchased, you have used, you have ever seen. And that is the Best Today Guide, because it goes further than living your life out from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. It actually invites you to look at the whole of you. And really, that's important. If you want to live out your days, you want to have gotten your big picture first. That clarity at the top matters so much more than any other place. And then it trickles down into your season and into your days, your weeks, your months. So you can go right now to besttoday.co to get your Best Today Guide. We'll also link to it below. So wherever you're listening, scroll down and you'll see a link for the Best Today Guide. Get yours today, and you can also go read many more reviews, 5-star reviews at that, of the Best Today Guide. Thanks again for that 5-star review coming from our friend. I believe this is our friend in Australia, Caroline. Thank you so much. It's already been marked. I got a chiropractor appointment right after I drop my children off to school. And whatever I do, it's going to be a whole bunch of whatever or nothing. It's going to be reading books. It might be sleeping. It might be watching TV. It might be, going for a walk. I ain't even planned anything because I literally said, I don't want to pre-plan a thing except for my chiropractor appointment, because I'm going to need to be adjusted after all that, right? But I planned that time off way ahead, because I'm like, you can look at your calendar and say, okay, I know I have X amount of things coming up. This is going to be a full time. I'm going to take that whatever off. Or you know what? I'm going to take 2 days off before to mentally prepare myself and 2 days off afterward. So whether that's a big project you have at work, a trial, anything. Maybe it's even you have a lot of life stuff coming and you want to take some time to curb that. Like, take time on the front end and or the back end. I always recommend the back end, but if you can, my optimal option for you is to take time on the front end and on the back end, right? So meaning before the big thing happens and after the big thing happens. But boo, friend, that is what your paid time off is for. So number one, I want you to go on and strategically, proactively plan it. Look at your calendar. What's coming up? You ain't got to wait for the week of, and just go on and plan it. Go on and say, hey, I'm going to put however you submit it to your job. Here, I'm submitting paid time off for going to December, November, October, and wherever you're listening to this, 6 months from now, 9 months from now. Just has to be within the calendar year, is my understanding. Okay. In some places, you can even do it beyond. Okay. Because the fact of the matter is, you were hired with a promise to have paid time off. Like, clearly this, I'm talking to you if this is in fact true for you and your job. And that's a part of your compensation package. So not using it is literally like skipping a paycheck or multiple paychecks. Plan it so you don't find yourself losing it and not using it. And remember that paid time off is not just for travel or when you have big things going on, right? It can be for everyday thing. It can be, I know a friend, she just calls them her mental health day. She just says once a quarter, she just takes a day off for mental health, and it's just whatever she needs to do. It can be things like picking up around your home. It could be a day where you and your spouse take a time off. You and your friend say, girl, let's take PTO this weekend. Let's go hit Charlotte. Let's go shopping. Let's do whatever. Time with the family, friend, outreach. Okay, I have these causes that really matter to me. And you say you don't have time, but they matter in this season to you. I'm going to take 1 Monday off every month for this quarter. That's 3 days to go and contribute to this outreach opportunity that really means something to me, right? Or you can say, I'm going to take off 2 hours every Monday and use PTO for that, if that, again, is how yours works, and you can take it by the hour, and go and commit myself to this thing. There is so much that you can do with this thing that you've been given, this benefit. And this podcast episode is here, me just saying, not. Hey, girl. Hey, friend. I don't know. I probably have some men who listen to this podcast. Hey, bro, use your PTO. Use it now. Plan it now. Leave some space for some buffer for, things that might come up. But go on now and plan. When is the next day you're going to take off just to do something that you want to do? How nice would it be? How often have you said, oh, I wish I had a day where I could just, guess what? Ding, ding, ding. You can. It's called using your paid time off. Using your paid time off. I make songs about everything, and I was about to go into that now, but I love y'all. We friends on the podcast, but I don't know if we at that level for you to get my everyday songs. My friends get that all the time. Okay. But listen, I really want you to think about this and take it very seriously. If that is an opportunity, if that's something you've been given. And let me say this, for those of you who do not work for an employer, so maybe you are a home-based parent, retired, I hope you really like this applies to you, but where now you don't have to apply for it. But are you taking days that kind of break free of your usual schedule to allow yourself to do something that might be different? That's an invitation for you there also. So it's not even necessarily just about paid time off, but it's about using time, making time for something that is not typically a part of your everyday. Those things that you say you wish you could do, you want to do more of, or really just to do absolutely, positively not a thing. That's me, April 15th. Okay. If you're looking for me, don't. You won't find me. It'll be a podcast episode that day. Actually, is this the one that's coming out April 15th? That would be kind of funny. I don't think it is. But April 15th, rest. I've already planned it, right? And that is my offer to you in this episode. Share it with a friend, share it with 3 coworkers, share it with someone you know who is retired or someone who's a home-based parent who, again, isn't working for someone in exchange for compensation, but needs that reminder of making the time, making the day, going and looking at your schedule and setting ahead of time, that time of rest, of doing nothing, or a time of preparation. Like, I have this thing coming. I'm going to take 2 days off before to start preparing my house or preparing my whatever, preparing for travel, getting my mind together. And then 2 days on the other end when I get back, because everybody knows when you travel, even if it's the best trip in the world, when you get back, you can't just jump right back into, you need transition time, especially if you done travel with some little people. Okay. And by little people, I mean people under the age of 18, right? Or really 10. I only can speak to my own experience. 11. My oldest is 11. You need some time, okay? So that's my offering for you today. Let me know. Send me pictures, all the things of your recuperating, you using your time off. Send us a message. Text us 404-737-1002. Let us know. I just put in my time off. We'd love to hear and celebrate with you here at Best Today. Thank you so much for being present with me for this week's episode of the Best Today podcast. Please remember that the best way to support this podcast is by leaving a review, sharing it with a friend, and letting me know your favorite parts. To hear more from me, I invite you to subscribe to my online Substack publication at forthoseonthejourney.com, which is also linked here in the show notes. If we can be a help to you, email us anytime at hello@besttoday.co or leave us a message at besttoday.co/voice. Talk to you on the next episode. This podcast is provided for you every week by Best Today, where we are on a mission to help you to live and work well. We do this by creating resources that bring intention to how you plan, schedule, work, and live. You can get started in one of 3 easy ways. First, by taking our product quiz at besttoday.co/quiz. 2, joining us in our online community, the Best Today community, at besttoday.co/community. Or 3, connect with us through email at besttoday.co/email, all of which are linked below in the show notes. To learn more about our company and what we do, visit besttoday.co and join thousands of customers around the world pursuing a life of intention, one today at a time.